Hey everyone, welcome back to a Dad Life Fishing Adventure Weather Report. So I'm Mike Lotzenheiser, and today we're going to look at the Wabash River, the Salamonie River, and the Mississinewa River, and look at where the water levels are at both on the rivers, in the reservoirs, and below the spillways. So if you want to know this information, this is the Mother's Day weekend. And the waters are up high across the board, but here we go. We're going to jump right into the Wabash River at Bluffton. You can see that we are peaking at 10.4, which is above the minor flood level for this river. So we're in minor flood stage right now. It is forecasted to last through the rest of today and possibly into tomorrow a little bit before it gets into the action stage. So let's go take a look at the reservoir. So going to the downstream gauge, and again we're using water.weather.gov and using the flood gauges to show this story. The reservoir is kind of in the midst of a rise. It's went up about 2 feet here with this last rain, and will especially rise some more as the river's in flood stage. So expect that to continue to rise in this location. And let's take a look at the spillway now. So looking at the gauge at Huntington, they're holding it at a high release rate and steady right now to try to get the reservoir to stay somewhat steady, but there's a lot of water coming in, so it'll rise unless if they really bump it up into the action or minor flood stage, which is unlikely at this time. Here's the fishing joke of the day. A little kid sat on the side of the road with his line down a drain. Feeling sorry for him, a woman walked up and gave him 50 cents and kindly asked, "How many fish have you caught?" He answered, "You're the 10th this morning." Ha ha ha! Back to the information. So jumping into the next river, which will be the Salamonie. Salamonie at the Warren gauge. You see that it's been up 3 different times now. It's going to peak in the action stage is what they're forecasting right now, and recede out of it maybe late Sunday, early Monday, before it gets out of action stage and starts its trend down to hopefully a fishable level by the end of the week. Let's take a look at the reservoir here. Reservoir is above normal pool and rising, so we're about a little over 1.5 feet above the normal pool elevation right now. Actually, 2.5 feet above the normal pool elevation of 755. So things are rising there. So you have a full reservoir now. So the thing that does mean is that all the boat launches and everything will be working in their normal capacity right now, except you don't have a lot of debris on the water and muddy conditions because of the recent rise in the rivers. Going downstream from there to look at the spillway. The spillway has been opened up to 6.01 feet, so that's a significant outlet, but not as super extreme. That's going to hold the reservoir as steady as possible. But again, these 3 reservoirs work in tandem for flood control downstream from us. So as one opens up higher, they're going to lower the other ones so that they don't flood downstream on the Wabash River. So jumping into the Mississinewa River, the Marion gauge shows the river again has had 3 peaks. This one now is about 9.22, and it looks like it's about ready to crest as it's starting to bend over. But not quite to action stage there in Marion for the Mississinewa, and hopefully be heading down to a fishable level towards the end of the week into the weekend, if we can keep away from those pesky little rains that we've been having. Going downstream from there into the reservoir will be next. The computer cooperates here. There we go. So just like the Salamonie, we're seeing the 737 normal pool, and we're about 1.5 feet here above normal pool right now. And again, you don't have muddy water conditions, debris on the reservoir, but boat ramps, everything will be functioning in their normal summer capacity now. Going downstream to take a look at the spillway. I know there's several questions about how the spillway is running. Spillway is running high, but they have actually bumped it down a couple times. And again, the reason why they're doing that is they do want to get the reservoir down back to normal summer pool, because it is approaching mid-May, and that is when they would naturally do that, try to get the reservoir to that level. But they're also measuring the outlets at the Roush Lake, Wabash River, and the Salamonie Reservoir as well. So this is all a combination. So you have the Wabash River in flood, the upper Wabash River in flood stage, so they do have to look at limiting the outflows on the Mississinewa and the Salamonie accordingly. So let's take a look at the future weather here. So today is going to be a pretty day. I think we've got a high of 63, partially cloudy. We will have some winds, gusty winds up to 25 miles an hour, so that's kind of a down draw for today. Mother's Day is going to be beautiful, mostly sunny, 68. Winds definitely lesser. Then we get into 77, 80s all the way to Saturday, and 78 on Sunday. But we get those pesky little PM thunderstorms popping up on 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday next week. So hopefully those won't be anything major, and the water will be able to be at a good level, fishable level, over the weekend and later in the week. So we're hoping for receding waters and good fishing conditions. It is that time of year. The fish are biting when you can get to them, and we'll start to progress as we hit into the middle of May, into early June. So come back to Dad Life Fishing Adventures. We'll be giving more information like this as the month goes on. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, we greatly appreciate that. Check out Roush Lake Dad Life as well, and drop us a comment. We love hearing from you guys. What are you seeing out there in the water? How can we improve this report to give you better information? And again, water.weather.gov. Search these, look up your gauges in your area. It's a great tool that you can get so much information. And once you know the water, when you had a successful fishing adventure on one of these rivers, and you know, and you look back at the gauge and it says, oh, it was at this level, you can repeat that by looking at the gauge before you leave and be like, oh, it's down a little bit or up a little bit, and you'll know, okay, when I get out there, I will know what I'm going to experience. So I think it helps a lot. So with that, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you out on the water next time. Thank you.